Ropz is one of Counter-Strike's most decorated players, having won all the trophies that the game has to offer. But many might not know all the hardships that he's gone through in his career just to be able to stand where he is today. From being labeled a hacker to $1.8 million in earnings. But to understand how he came this far, we have to go back to where it all started. Born in Estonia in 1999, Ropz's love for gaming began early on. At just 7 years old, he would play his first game of Counter-Strike 1.6 and would practice his movement in KC. And as a kid, his precision and attention to detail stood out, qualities that would later define his playstyle and career. When Counter-Strike 1.6 began to fade, he briefly moved to Call of Duty, all while dreaming of joining FaZe Clan, the coolest team in esports at the time. Little did he know that that dream would eventually become reality, actually entering the FaZe 5 recruitment challenge.
If you ever wanted to join FaZe, now's your chance.
Okay, hello my dudes, I am Ropz and this is my FaZe 5 recruitment challenge response.
With the launch of Counter-Strike Global Offensive, Ropz returned to Valve's legendary shooter. But one day as he was grinding, a tragedy would hit his family.
It was a normal day. I went to school, I had just some late night CS. And then in the evening, my mom came into my room and I was like, okay, don't bother me, I'm playing. I'm busy now and I'm just having some fun. But she said that it's serious and she just sat me down to have a talk. And she let me know that my dad committed suicide. My dad did this business for almost 20 years and it eventually just started to go downwards. I think at one point we had some problems with like bankruptcy. The bank had to take this house. If I could just go back in time and, you know, tell my dad that I could earn so much money playing CS and yeah, just wait, like things will work out.
You see, now this grind had a totally different meaning. He had to make it for his mom and began his climb through the FACEIT ranks, entering the FACEIT Pro League, or FPL for short, at just 17 years old, dominating so much that he would end up being ranked #1 in the world. A huge step for such a young guy, but some pros had started to accuse him of cheating, going so far as refusing to queue with him.
Oh, fuck this Ropz retard. I don't know why the fuck we don't just ban him. He's never gonna show up at the LAN. I don't even want to join a team.
Cheating accusations may seem harmless, but for a young, unproven player, it was detrimental. And with accusations piling up, he would get invited to play at FACEIT's headquarters. Here, Ropz would have to prove that he truly was a legitimate player. That day, he silenced his critics and officially began receiving offers to professional teams, and thus, his professional journey began. Ropz's first big break came when he signed with mousesports, a team that gave him the chance to balance his education with competitive play, with the main author of Mouse actually speaking to Ropz earlier on that year. Unfortunately, it would take some time for Ropz to adjust to pro play, but his potential was undeniable. And soon after, his breakout moment came in 2017 when Mouse won the ESG Tour Mykonos, and a year later, he helped secure victories at StarLadder I-League Season 4 and the V4 Future Sports Festival Budapest, cementing his status as one of Csgo's brightest young talent. But still, Mouse would struggle throughout the 2018 season, and therefore they started looking for ways to change up the team. And in 2019, the addition of veteran in-game leader Kerrigan marked a turning point. Kerrigan had just fallen out with FaZe Clan, falling from the spot as the world's greatest in-game leader. And with this chip on his shoulder, Kerrigan would shape mousesports and thus Ropz into one of the greatest teams in the world. Kerrigan built a system around Ropz's insane game sense and aim, leading to multiple trophies and a second best rating in the world. Ropz was recognized as one of the top 10 players in the world. He finally had the team that he needed to go for the major, but just as everything was coming together, the world would change forever. Mouse were playing the ESL Katowice 2020 tournament as the last team on the broadcast. It was 1-1, and during the break, an announcement would ring out on the speakers that would change the entire pro scene forever.
Thank you very much, Alex. Thank you very much, Henry. And yes, we all do love exactly what we're watching right now. Counter-Strike. It's what brought us all here. But for the time being, I've been tasked with something very, very special and I guess very interesting in a lot of ways. That I've prepared this, so I'll just read from the card if you wouldn't mind. The Intel Extreme Masters Katowice 2020 will drive on, and we will complete this Masters Championship. However, I regret to inform you, the viewer at home, that the public or in-arena audience that has been canceled. That, for the time being, until further notice, has been canceled.
And as the pandemic sunk over the world, mouse sports would never be able to perform as well during the online era. And as Kerrigan's contract was ending, he was scouted by his old squad, FaZe Clan. They had just lost Nico, but this time, Kerrigan would come back with the greatest rifler in the world. In 2022, Ropz achieved what once seemed impossible, joining FaZe Clan. His childhood dream team, reuniting with Kerrigan, everything came together. For Ropz, joining FaZe Clan wasn't just a roster move. It was the moment everything he'd worked for in his entire career was supposed to pay off. Quiet, calculated, and cold-blooded, he entered the IEM Katowice 2022 with one goal: help FaZe Clan finally win this fucking trophy. FaZe beat Team Liquid 2-1, but then lost to Na'Vi 2-1, sending the team down the long road of the quarterfinals. And this is where Ropz began to show the true power of Estonia.
Yeah, you've done well to avoid this AAA lead, but you still go walking into Ropz, and oh man! It's left to Ropz. Biggest challenge yet, they do.
Sneaks further, there's the shot, Ropz has found two, this is a 1-on-4. Oh no! And Ropz might just knock them all down.
Through the window, Ropz has heard something, Ropz knows. Oh! There's the closer! Ropz! What a way to lock in Dust Till! Hey, Ropz has got to do it all. They drop onto him, there's the first. Just nothing left to be, and Ropz, it's another clutch! Ropz and Twist left up in this one, and Ropz all alone, another clutch to close it, and this time it sends them to the grand finals!
Reaching the grand finals, Ropz must have felt the pressure and the excitement all at once. But standing in their way was a stacked G2 roster. Nico, Monisi, Hunter, Jax, and Alexi B. What followed was one of the closest, most insane finals ever played. But before I tell you about this, I want to talk about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by SkinPlace, but don't skip this as you can win free skins. SkinPlace is a site where you can safely sell your skins for real money. You can withdraw with PayPal, crypto, or cards, and by using my code KIWI, you get a free extra 2% on your sale. And I'm currently hosting a giveaway for this Got Knife Doppler with SkinPlace. You simply just have to be subscribed and write what you like the most about the video in the comments. So use my promo code KIWI to get a bonus on your first sale.
Back towards A, but that's crumbling as well. Ropz is in a huge amount of trouble. He's gonna try and take matters into his own hands. Couldn't find the second shot fast enough, but Jax, he drops in. Oh, talk about an Estonia. Talk about a superstar. Talk about the elite. Ropz is Twist so low, and he's left in a 1-on-1, 5 HP. Jax needs to consider every single angle, and he looks the wrong way. Twist will do it instead. And another clutch. He is very disciplined in this situation. Quick tap. Falls off, and he falls the wrong way, so as not to be spotted. Alexi B just waits it out, but JKS has it. Does he have the time, though? It's going to be so close, absolutely. FaZe have won map 2, and they'll go up 2-0 in this series. Roki's still here. Oh, they lined up. He's actually hit 1+2. He did damage. That's going to drop them down. It's all on Hunter, and it's all over. Twist with the final kill, and FaZe finally on the stage in Katowice will take a championship.
One of the maps went 58 rounds, just 1 round short of an all-time record for the longest game. And when FaZe Clan finally lifted the trophy, the relief on Ropz's face said everything. Years of hard work and thousands of hours spent grinding, it all led to this. But this was only the beginning of FaZe Clan's golden era. 3 months later, the PGL Antwerp Major began, and FaZe were heavy favorites. They blasted through groups, even taking down Cloud9, the team that had crushed FaZe Dreams 4 years earlier. After beating NIP and Spirit, they were once again in a grand final. This time against Na'Vi, featuring none other than Simple, hungry to defend his major title.
It's up to Carrigan. Brokey does hit the shot, and Carrigan good for the headshot now, running out of options. That'll do nicely.
Have the right maneuver about this.
Not bad at all. And Simple doesn't even click. 40 seconds, T-side. That's the bomb in the open. Trying every trick to recover. It has to be Rain. Looking for it. Oh! The ace! The ace, she doubted him, and he continues to prove us wrong. But it's not done yet. Bits makes it so. Bomb needs to be planted. Can they contest? Oh, he saves them as well. Been silenced. Na'Vi's trades are so strong. Gets the bomb, gets 2 again. Carrigan does not surrender. And Simple's got 2. At the end of the game, we go again. And it right here, right now, in a 1-on-1, a battle of wits between him and Ropz as he and Ropz are about to clash. It's over. Ropz holds his now. 20 seconds. Where on earth can they find a way in? 15, as they really look to force the rotate. It's one man! Oh, that's the shot!
There's a red
That
carpet
is the
into
shot,
A.
Chad. I think this time 6, 5, 4, and the bomb goes down on the other side of the map. Now we have got so much to do. A couple of kills is all they need, and there's one. Simple, stubborn. Ropz meets his fate, and is only broken to pull FaZe across the line.
FaZe closed out the first map in overtime. For Ropz, his lifelong dream was finally within arm's reach. Everything he had poured into the game was about to be rewarded.
He has a smoke, but he might just use his weapon. They're ready, but so is he! Rain! That is absolutely ludicrous!
Ropz might be winning this one right here, right now.
He goes looking, and Electronic brought down. There's another to be had, and the bomb is loose. Na'Vi, nothing! Absolutely nothing! It might be the first test for Ropz in his ramp room, and already, and waiting! It's Ropz on the double! Seen as one to be feared, and then up against it, up against the Rogue. Simple Electronic, though, not to be underestimated. Rokidor is out of the round. Simple, he takes another, and no! The Flames! Twist will get it! X away! One more!
He became what every player wants to be, a major winner. But there was no time to relax. Before the player break, IEM Cologne was coming up. A chance to win the 3 most prestigious events in CSGO, all in the same year. Players dream of winning one, doing all 3, that's legendary status. FaZe cruised into the playoffs without dropping a single map. In the semifinals, they met movie-style riders. And let's just say, when the FaZe train is rolling at full speed, you don't stand in the way.
Trying to see if they can put some pressure on the ramp. The bomb is committed, and Ropz, he's picking them up as they come for the smoke. It's an absolute shutdown.
The grand final, Na'Vi again, and Simple was thirsty for revenge. Both teams traded blow for blow, pushing it all the way to the 5th and final map, and FaZe would close it out 16-14, winning IEM Cologne. They were simply unstoppable, with the team's dominance earning massive recognition across the scene. The final step to cement this era was ESL Pro League. Winning it would secure the Intel Grand Slam, a crown only 3 other teams had ever achieved. And they did exactly that, beating Cloud9 3-1 to claim the Grand Slam and etch their names permanently into CSGO's history. Ropz thrived as the team's primary star, earning the 3rd spot on HLTV's Top 20 Players of 2023, just behind Saiwu and Nico. Beyond trophies and accolades, he also celebrated personal milestones like buying his dream car, a Porsche 911 Turbo S, symbolizing the rewards of years of dedication and discipline. But just as FaZe had seemingly conquered everything, the game changed. With the introduction of CS2, FaZe would win the first ever tournament, IEM Sydney 2023, continuing to win other S-tier tournaments like the Thunderpick World Championships and CS Asia Championships. But still, this team wasn't just built for normal tournaments, it was built to win majors. FaZe's first real test came at the PGL Major in Copenhagen, the first CS2 major ever played. Against all odds, they powered their way into the grand finals, another massive arena, another shot at history, and once again, heartbreak. FaZe would go all the way into the major grand final, but lose the last match. But still, reaching the final of the first CS2 major sent a message. This team wasn't going anywhere, and that message became reality at IEM Chengdu 2024. There, Ropz delivered the kind of consistency that doesn't need flash, just precision. Round by round, he dismantled opponents until FaZe finally lifted the trophy. It was proof that the system still worked, even in a brand new game. Then came the Perfect World Shanghai Major, another major where FaZe Clan would go into yet another grand final, another chance at legacy, and this time, Ropz nearly rewrote history with one of the wildest plays of the year, a jumping orb no-scope that almost sparked an impossible comeback.
Click to the post! That is a quick one-tap to Zontix! Flying no-scope!
The arena went crazy, casters lost it, and for a moment it felt like destiny was shifting. Fate had FaZe to lift that trophy, but FaZe would once again fall short. But 2 major finals in 1 year in a completely new game is a level of consistency that shocked the world. And through it all, Ropz stood at the center, quietly world class. But as the year came to end, news would hit this year's world like no other. Ropz had decided to join Vitality, arguably one of FaZe Clan's biggest rivals. And just weeks after Ropz joined, Vitality swept Spirit 3-0 in the grand final of IEM Katowice 2025. It was the first title of the year and a clear sign that the roster had found its rhythm, and the biggest win streak that the game had ever seen was just starting. They would win ESL Pro League Season 21, Blast Open Lisbon 2025, IEM Melbourne, and thus the ESL Grand Slam, winning Blast Rivals 2025 Season 1 and IEM Dallas. So therefore Vitality came into the Austin Major on fire. 16 series win in a row. They hadn't lost in months, and every team knew it. The streak wasn't just numbers, it was true dominance. And now it was time to finally prove that they could win the major. Vitality cruised through the group stage, barely dropping maps. It felt like no team could touch them. In the quarterfinals, they would match up against Na'Vi, easily sweeping them 2-0. Then came Mouse in the semi-finals, and they would show that this win wasn't going to come easy. After winning this series 2-1, they were now in the grand final against the Mongols. It was clear that the crowd was against them, and as the match kicked off, everyone knew it was going to be crazy.
10 of the world's greatest players stand before you. Tonight, we will watch them fight with their dreams on the line. Austin, Texas, pay close attention. Counter-Strike lives within us! America! The world is watching! In the Estonian, space given over to Techno. He catches them off guard. Mount of health and the utility here to Austin. Not gonna stop. There's some kind of comfort. 9-10 hits another. He done it. Shot. And so this space. He will do it as the other scores. No help is coming from us. The back's turned. Dealt with swiftly. Senzu's response. And now he looks for Mendy. Senzu hits the headshot. Oh, recovery. 3 frags to his name. You got Zywoo with the clutch. Player over towards the pillars, trying to get his hands busy. Zywoo's got a chance. There's a chance. Again, they're trying to change it up. Great kill from Enzinho. That's the whole site. Trying to find that timing. They hear the feet burning. No way. Nobody's going to swing just yet. They take their time. Sweet time. Techno into the 2. By this performance, unless it is not to be.
And as the last round came to a close, Ropz had just shown that he was truly a generational player, winning majors with 2 different teams. And they would win the ESL Pro League not long after. But still, they didn't look as dominant after this major as they had prior, and they would actually start losing tournaments. So therefore, as the next major came around in Budapest, it looked like Furia was the team that was going to be taking the title. Could Vitality actually defend their title and become the first team to win back-to-back majors in CS2? They would start off the major great by winning 2 of their 3 matches in the Swiss stage, instantly putting them into the playoffs. And this playoff bracket would be one of the most stacked a major had ever seen before. And this meant the winner would have to pull their absolute best performances to end up as the champion. Could Vitality do this? In their first match, they would meet the Mongols, winning the match 2-0. And it was clear Vitality was in top form. But in the next match, they would face up against Donk's Team Spirit, and they would certainly bite back, getting ahead 12-6. But Vitality would fight back, pushing the game into overtime, going into double overtime before winning the game and the next map. This meant they were now in yet another major grand final against none other than FaZe Clan, Ropz's previous team, the only team they had lost to previously in the tournament. FaZe had clawed their way back into the tournament and was in true fighting form, having played 25 maps in this tournament alone, with Vitality only having played 9. And this final would truly be spectacular. FaZe would take the first map, looking like a strong contender. But just like the previous major, Vitality likes to get behind, where they then kickstart their engines.
Are you ready?
No. I need more from you all. I need all that energy. I need that roar. Are you ready?
Onside open, they try to double back and they meet care again. No, he's hit. Instant execution. Oh, a second. Who's deeper onto Frost.
He's not necessarily.
Here it comes. They're going to try to dive Zywoo. That's the cover. Ropz with the headshots. Brokey, what? The no-scope. Sick. But
Zywoo will throw it.
Apex pounces. Sick transition. A reminder of where he came from. Frozen on the swing. And it's Apex himself to end it. Your star ladder. Budapest Major Champions.
Budapest Major Champions.
Winning this major meant Ropz had done something truly special. Winning 3 majors with different teams had proven that he was truly the greatest rifler that the game had ever seen. And it's not looking like he will fall off anytime soon. Truly proving to his younger self that the sacrifices, blood, sweat and tears was worth it to make his family and himself proud. A true icon of the sport. If you like this video, you'd probably like some of my other documentaries about other prominent esport figures. Remember to subscribe, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.